she quietly prepared to lock every deed in her own name. I'm curious, where in the world are you joining us from? Drop your city or country in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed for all the latest updates. Some questions crack open truths you wish stayed buried. Linda smoothed the ribbon on the cream gift bag for the third time, the satin edges whispering beneath her fingertips. Inside was a crystal photo frame etched with "To the Happy Couple," wrapped in soft tissue she'd fluffed and refolded twice. She'd picked it out with care, something elegant, something lasting. Jason hadn't said much about dates, but she'd sensed it coming. Spring was around the corner. A wedding felt close. The house was filled with the warm domestic hum of a Sunday brunch. Laughter in the next room, the clink of silverware on ceramic, bacon curling on a tray. It was Jason's idea. He'd texted her midweek. Just a casual get-together. Megan's making cinnamon rolls. Linda entered the kitchen just as Megan leaned against the counter, perfectly styled in a fitted black turtleneck, her manicured nails wrapped around a coffee mug. Jason stood nearby, pouring himself orange juice, eyes down. Linda offered a smile. "So," she began, holding up the bag like a peace offering, "when's the big day?" Megan's eyes met hers, gleaming with something unreadable. A smile crept slowly across her face, too slow to be kind. "Oh," she said, voice light but sharp. "We got married yesterday." The bag in Linda's hands drooped slightly. "You... what?" "Courthouse ceremony," Megan said with a shrug. "Simple. Just us." Jason's hand froze mid-pour. He didn't look up. Linda's breath caught. "You didn't tell anyone?" Megan tilted her head. "We didn't want it to be a big thing. Just felt right to keep it private." Jason set the carton down, his back still turned. The silence swelled around them, dense and stifling. Someone in the next room cleared their throat, loudly. No one came in. Linda's fingers gripped the handles of the gift bag a little tighter. "I see." Megan glanced at the bag like it was a charity donation. "Thanks, though. That's sweet of you." Linda placed it gently on the counter, her hands suddenly cold. "We just wanted something quiet," Megan added, "without all the pressure and opinions." A flicker of something passed over Jason's face. Shame, regret. It vanished too fast to name. "I would have liked to know," Linda said quietly. Megan's smile thinned. "You know now." In the painful quiet that followed, Linda heard her heartbeat pounding in her ears. Her gaze drifted toward Jason. He stared at the floor, as if reading something written only for him. She turned to leave, but Megan's voice followed, breezy and cruel. "Photos are already up, by the way. Got a ton of likes in the first hour. You should check them out." Linda didn't reply. She didn't trust what might come out if she opened her mouth. She walked back into the dining room, where forks paused mid-air and conversations stalled under awkward tension. Her cousin stared into her mimosa. Her sister-in-law avoided eye contact entirely. She forced a nod to no one in particular and kept walking, into the hallway, past the bathroom, and out the front door. The air hit her like a wave. Cool, crisp, indifferent. Jason hadn't spoken a single word. She turned back once, through the open doorway, catching just a glimpse of her son, still frozen, still silent, his wife beaming. Linda's voice cracked the quiet, not loud, but clear enough to slice through the air. "Why didn't you want me there?" A smile can slice deeper than any blade. Megan didn't flinch. In fact, the corners of her mouth lifted just a bit higher, smug, like she'd been waiting for Linda to ask that exact question. Jason stared at the floor. "I mean, we figured it was better this way," Megan said, as if discussing weather. "No drama, no fuss, no expectations." Linda's throat was dry. "I would have just shown up and smiled." Megan's eyes sparkled with mock sympathy. "And worn beige, or tried to redecorate the courthouse lobby." A few relatives nearby chuckled, uneasy hollow sounds. One of them, Linda couldn't tell who, murmured something about the quiche needing salt. Linda looked to Jason. His shoulders sagged, still no eye contact. "Jason?" she asked, her voice firmer now. "Anything to say?" He opened his mouth, closed it, then shrugged, helpless. "It just happened fast, Mom." Megan looped her arm through his. "He's been under so much pressure, between work, the mortgage stuff, us moving." Linda flinched. "Moving?" "Oh," Megan laughed lightly. "Didn't he tell you? We're looking at condos closer to the city. Less driving, better schools." "Schools," Linda echoed, her voice barely above a whisper. Megan cocked an eyebrow, amused. "Planning ahead." The air between them grew tight, suffocating. Jason shifted his weight from one foot to the other. Megan picked up her phone, her perfectly manicured thumb swiping through photos. "Anyway," she said cheerfully, "we got the cutest courthouse shots. Here, look." Linda didn't move. Megan took a step closer, holding the screen toward her like a trophy. Jason in a light gray suit, trying to smile. Megan in a fitted white jumpsuit, bouquet in hand. The officiant's hand, mid-gesture. A kiss, posed, flawless. Then another photo, and another. Linda stared, not at the images, but at the unfamiliar grin Jason wore. Not joy, not love, just blank obedience, like a man posing for someone else's story. Around them, small talk resumed, or tried to, but the tone had shifted, softer, uneasy. "I need to use the restroom," Linda said quietly, already walking. She slipped down the hall, past childhood photos still hanging on the walls. Jason's third grade school picture, the trip to Yellowstone. A Christmas morning with his father in a red flannel robe, long before the illness. Her throat tightened. Inside the bathroom, she locked the door behind her and gripped the edge of the sink. Her legs shook. The silence rang louder than the conversation she'd just left. It filled her ears like static. She looked in the mirror. You weren't even worth a phone call. Her hands trembled as she pulled out her phone. She tapped Jason's name. His contact opened. No photo anymore, just his initials. She opened his profile. Content unavailable. Her thumb froze. She tried again, refreshed. This user is no longer available. Heart thudding, she opened Instagram. Nothing. Facebook. Nothing. She checked Megan's account. Blocked. The notifications stopped days ago. She hadn't noticed. She never thought to check. Linda backed away from the sink like it had burned her. Her phone slipped from her hand and clattered to the floor. He'd shut her out. Not just from the wedding, from his life. Tears blur roads, but not memories. The steering wheel was cold beneath Linda's fingers. She didn't remember saying goodbye. Not to Jason, not to Megan, not to anyone. One moment she was staring at the bathroom floor, phone buzzing with silence. And the next, outside, alone. The sun was too bright, the air too sharp. She climbed into her car like it was a lifeboat. The door thunked shut behind her, muffling the world. She sat for a moment, both hands gripping the wheel, her breath coming in short bursts. The photo frame was still in the back seat, untouched. To the happy couple. She should have thrown it in the trash before leaving. The engine started with a quiet hum. Linda backed out of the driveway, not glancing once at the house behind her. Not even at the living room window, where Jason used to press his face as a little boy, waving her off as she left for work. She pulled onto the seat. Read. The neighborhood passed in soft blurs. Trimmed lawns, porch flags, sun-faded Halloween decorations no one had taken down yet. She blinked hard. Her eyes were stinging. The first tear landed at the corner of her mouth, then another, and another. By the time she hit the main road, she was sobbing, silently at first, the kind of cry that stays in your chest and rattles your ribs. Her vision smeared, but she kept driving. Home was only 12 minutes away, but each second stretched like a lifetime. She shouldn't have asked. She shouldn't have gone. She shouldn't have bought the goddamn gift. At a red light, she wiped her face and looked up at the sky. The clouds had thinned, revealing a pale blue that felt unfair. How could the sky look so clean when everything inside her felt wrecked? Her phone buzzed in the cup holder. Hope flickered. For a breathless second, she thought maybe it was Jason. It wasn't. Group text. Aunt Pam sent a photo. Jason Megan. Just married. Linda stared at it. Jason's smile looked forced. Megan's didn't. She tapped out of the thread and opened her photo gallery instead. Dozens of pictures from years past. Jason's high school graduation. Him holding a fishing rod with his dad, age 9. One of her favorites. Jason asleep on the couch at 12. Their old dog curled against his legs, both snoring. She'd raised him on her own after Frank died. Late nights, double shifts, student loans, home-cooked meals, even when her body ached. She fought to make life normal for him, fought to be enough, and he'd cut her out like a bad thread. The grief twisted suddenly, unexpectedly, into something else.